What are you talking about? Sophie said. The BFG was getting more distressed every moment. "Oh, bash my eye bones!" he cried, waving the jar in the air. "I come all this way to get lovely golden dreams, and what is I catching?" "What are you catching?" Sophie said. "I is catching a frightsome troggle humper," he cried. "This is a bad, bad dream. It is worse than a bad dream. It is a nightmare." "Oh dear," Sophie said. "What will you do with that?" "I's never letting it go," the BFG cried. "If I do, then some poor little toddler will be having the most curdling time. This one is a real Kixie Bach Bogtumper. I is exploding it as soon as I get home." "Nightmares are horrible," Sophie said. "I had one once and I woke up sweating all over. Which this one you would be waking up screaming all over," the BFG said. "This one would make your teeth stand on end. If if this one got into you, your blood would be freezing to icicles, and your skin would go creeping across the floor." "It is as bad as that." "It's worse," cried the BFG. "This is a real whoopsie grub switcher." You said it was a troggle humper," Sophie told him. "It is a troggle humper," cried the ex, ex, exasperated BFG. "But it is also a bog thumper and a grub switcher. It is all three. Ah, you wake beastie, you," he cried, holding up the jar and staring into it. "Never more is you going to be bung-doddling the poor little human beany toddlers." Sophie, Sophie was Sophie, who was also staring into the glass jar, cried out, "I can see it! There's something in there." "Of course there is something in there," the BFG said. "You is looking at the frightsome troggle humper." "But you told me dreams were invisible." "This is always invisible until they is captured," the BFG told her. After that, they is losing a little of their invisibility. We is seeing this one very clearly." Inside the jar Sophie could see the faint scarlet outline of something that looked like a mixture between a blob of gas and a bubble of jelly. It was moving violently, thrashing against the sides of the jar and forever changing shape. "It's wiggling all over the place," Sophie cried. "It's fighting to get out. It'll bash itself to bits." "The nastier the dream, the angrier it is getting when it is in prison," the BFG said. "It is the same as with wild animals. If an animal is very furious and you is put it in a cage, it will make a tremendous rumpeldumpus. If it is a nice animal like a cockatoodle or a frogglefrump, it will sit quietly. Dreams is exactly the same. This one this one is a nasty, furious, bog-rooting nightmare. Just look at him splashing himself against the glass." "It's quite frightening," Sophie cried. "I would be hating to get this one inside me on a darksome night." the BFG said. So so would I, Sophie said. The BFG started putting the bottles back into the suitcase. Is that all? Sophie asked. Are we going? I is so upset by this struggle humping, bog thumping, grub switcher, the BFG said, that I is not wishing to go on. Dream catching is finished for today. Soon Sophie was back in the waistcoat pocket, and the BFG was racing home as fast as he could go. When at last they emerged out of the mist and came again onto the hot yellow wasteland, all the other giants were sprawled out on the ground, fast asleep.